Alrighty guys, what's going on? It's Joseph here back for another LEGO Star Wars video here today. Today guys, I'm going to be making one suggestion for each LEGO Star Wars Rumored Summer set, and I'm going to be making these recommendations and suggestions right to sets that we don't really know too much about yet, as in we haven't seen like full reveals or something like that like we have with the Bad Batch shuttle. I'm not going to make any recommendations for that set just because we already know what's going into it, and making suggestions about that set wouldn't really matter, right? So let's get right into the video guys. Before I get into today's video though guys, I do want to give a reminder that I'm doing a free set giveaway at 1,000 subs. It's either going to be a 501st Battle Pack or an AAT. We are very close to hitting that milestone, so please make sure that you guys like and subscribe. It's literally free Legos, so please subscribe. Let's get right into the recommendations, shall we? Starting with my first suggestion for the Ucs Gunship. This one's pretty basic, really. Just have good proportions. I don't really have a lot of suggestions or just ideas that come to mind when I think of this set, just because I think LEGO's going to do a really good job with it. We already know about the minifigures, so I can't make any suggestions there, even though I'd love for it to have like Commander Cody or something like that. We know it's going to have Mace Windu, a clone pilot, and a clone captain. But as far as just any of your suggestions, I just hope that it has good proportions. I think that the model personally is going to be fantastic. I already know LEGO's going to do, a good job with this. They do a great job with their UCS stuff. So no worries here for me, but if anything, just have good proportions, which I think it will definitely have. So yeah, not much of a suggestion, but LEGO does a good job with this kind of stuff, so I'm not super worried. Next up for the ITT, or the Imperial Transport, I just hope it has a good build, and it's worth the price, really. We've already seen a couple of leaks of the minifigures. We've seen a picture of Grief Karga and the Mortar Trooper. Those two minifigures look good, and it's also rumored that we're getting 2 Stormtroopers, so as far as the minifigures go, I don't really have anything there. But as far as the build goes, I just hope it has a good build, and it's worth $40, because although those minifigures are nice, and 4 of them is definitely nice, Grief Karga and the Mortar Trooper are cool, but they're not super cool, and 2 Stormtroopers are, whatever, right? So the minifigures are neat, but I hope that the build kind of combines with them to make the set really worth $40, because at the end of the day, I don't really want to pay $40 just for 4 characters, which, 2 of them are Stormtroopers that you can get anywhere, and the other 2 are just kind of meh, nothing too special. I want to get a $40 set that has good minifigures and a good, solid build, so I really hope that this set has a good build. Next up for Moth, Gideon's Cruiser. Really, I think the build for this set's going to be good. It's going to have a decent amount of pieces, and I think that the set's going to look good. But as far as the minifigures go, we actually haven't seen any pictures of the minifigures or anything like that yet. We know it's going to have the Child and the Mandalorian, so we pretty much already know what those guys look like, right? But we haven't seen the Dark Trooper, we haven't seen Cara Dune, we haven't seen, Moff Gideon, all that good stuff. So really, the minifigures are kind of, unknown at this point. So at the end of the day, when it comes to this set, I just thought of, I hope this set has good minifigures. I think the minifigures are going to look good. LEGO usually does a really good job with minifigures. Sometimes they don't always do a good job. Who knows how they're going to do the Dark Trooper in this set, right? That's going to be an interesting thing to see. But still, I just hope that this set has good minifigures, because if it doesn't, that's really going to hurt the set, but I think it's going to have great minifigures, so yeah. Next up for the Mandalorian Gauntlet Fighter, also a pretty similar recommendation, in fact, exactly the same. Good minifigures as well. We haven't seen the build for this yet, which also, honestly, I feel like it could be like a dual-edged sword where good build, good minifigures, but, I guess you could say that about any LEGO set, right? So, specifically for this one, I decided to go with good minifigures just because, yeah, the build's going to be important, and it's still a very cool ship, but at the end of the day, we're supposed to be getting a Mandalorian warrior, GAR, SAXON, and Bo-Katan in this set, and although this set and model are going to be cool, we have gotten it before. We've never gotten Bo-Katan, GAR, SAXON, those 2 guys before, and we're getting a Mandalorian warrior, an updated version, right? So that's going to be cool. So I hope LEGO does a good job with the minifigures. I think they're going to do a fantastic job. Obviously, GAR SAXON is getting a new helmet mold, I believe, with the horns and all that good stuff. So I just hope that LEGO does a good job with the minifigures, and that's just my big recommendation for this set, guys. Next up for the Mandalore Duel, we've already seen the Darth Maul minifigure, and that looks pretty good, so really nothing about the minifigures, because we also know, obviously, Ahsoka's in this set, and we pretty much can assume that the Ahsoka we got last year is going to be in this set, so I can't really say anything about those now. Those minifigures are fine in my opinion, so yeah. But as far as the build goes, I just hope it lives up to expectations, and it's a decent duel set. I mean, I'm not expecting something fantastic because it is a duel set, but still, I just hope that the general set lives up to expectations and is solid and, is worth the $20, right? Nothing too simple, but something that can work, I guess. Next up for the $50 Slave 1, I'm really kind of the most pessimistic about this one. It's going to be $50, and it's going to be a Slave 1, so I just hope it's not ugly, honestly, because obviously, with most Slave 1s, they're usually like upwards of $100 or more, and LEGO does a great job with those models, right? This one's going to be $50, so obviously it's going to have a lot less parts, and we're getting Han Solo and Boba Fett, so as far as minifigures go, nothing too exciting, nothing to really say too much about, I guess you could say, but I just hope that the build is fine. I think $50 for a Slave 1 is a good idea because, it's a Slave 1 and it's affordable. But at the same time, obviously the build is going to have to go down in quality. That's just going to happen. But I just hope it's not ugly necessarily because, the reduced scale sets like the TIE Fighter, that set actually looks good. I'm not going to lie. I like the way that set looks. The X-Wing, not so much. So I hope that the Slave 1 kind of finds that balance like the TIE Fighter does and kind of gets reduced down to an affordable price and a good build. So just don't be ugly, I guess. Anyways, though, guys, let me know down in the comments below what sets are you guys looking forward to this summer. Really, I'm looking forward to all of these. I think I might get all of these depending on how the Slave 1 looks. I'm definitely getting the other, 4 or 5 or so that I mentioned. But the slave one, if it's, ugly, unfortunately, I might not get it. But chances are, I probably will get it. But let me know down in the comments below, what sets are you guys going to get. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Again, guys, please make sure that you guys like and subscribe for more LEGO Star Wars content, news, all that good stuff, top 10s, all that stuff. And again, just thank you all for participating on my channel and watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.